At 11:40 p.m., the Titanic hits something no one sees. No explosion, no screaming metal, just a strange shiver under your feet. By 2:20 a.m., the largest ship on Earth is gone, and everything that happens in between still feels unreal. On April 10, 1912, thousands of people pack the docks at Southampton just to watch her leave. This is what it looks like in the reconstruction. Thick white steam pours from 4 massive funnels. Dock workers shout over the noise. Families wave hats and handkerchiefs as ropes fall into the water. You can see third-class passengers gripping small suitcases, everything they own, staring up at a ship that feels like a floating city. The Titanic pulls away at noon. As she does, something almost goes wrong. Her engines displace so much water that a nearby ship, the New York, breaks loose from its moorings. For a moment, the two ships drift toward each other. You can see it here, lines snapping, tugboats rushing in, the gap closing. Then barely disaster is avoided. The Titanic passes safely by. Most people laugh it off, a funny story for later. Almost no one sees it as a warning. On board, confidence fills every corner. The ship is 882 feet long, 16 watertight compartments, doors that can seal with a switch. Newspapers call her practically unsinkable. You can feel that belief everywhere. In first class, men in tuxedos sit beneath glowing chandeliers. Crystal glasses clink. A string quartet plays softly as dinner is served in courses. Below deck, the mood is different, but just as hopeful. This is what you see in the reconstruction. Narrow corridors, bunk beds stacked close. Laughter spilling from shared rooms. Irish, Scandinavian, and Eastern European families talk about farms, factories, and streets they hope to see in America. Children chase each other down the halls while the ship hums around them. The days pass quietly. April 11, April 12, April 13. Meals, walks on deck, cards and conversation. The Atlantic is calm, almost too calm. And far above the dining rooms, in a small wireless cabin, something else is happening. You can see the operator hunched over his equipment. Messages pile up beside him. Ships ahead are warning of ice, large ice, pack ice, icebergs directly in the Titanic's path. Some messages are logged, some are delayed. Passenger telegrams take priority. The Titanic keeps moving west at over 22 knots. By the night of April 14, the air turns sharp and cold. The sea goes flat like black glass. Stars stretch across the sky with no moonlight at all. In this reconstruction, you can almost feel the temperature drop on your skin. The ship glides forward, calm and confident, and down below, the warnings keep coming. The sea is so calm it looks frozen. That's the problem. When waves break, they leave white foam against ice. Tonight there are no waves, no foam. In this reconstruction, the Atlantic is a dark mirror stretching forever, hiding what floats ahead. It's Sunday, April 14th, 1912. The time is just before 11:40 p.m. High above the bow, two figures stand in the crow's nest. Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee scan the horizon. The cold bites through their coats, their breath fogs the air. They strain their eyes into the darkness. They have no binoculars. They were never delivered. Then Fleet sees it. Not white, not sharp, just a darker shape against black sky. He rings the bell 3 times and grabs the phone. Iceberg, right ahead. On the bridge, First Officer William Murdoch reacts instantly. You can see it here. His hand snaps to the telegraph. Hard as starboard. Engines full reverse. The ship begins to turn. But a ship this size does not turn quickly. The Iceberg slides closer. Silent. Massive. There is no crash. No explosion. Just a long scrape along the starboard side. 7 seconds. That's all. Inside the ship, people feel a shudder, like rolling over small stones. In first class, some barely notice. A few look up from their cards. Someone jokes that they lost a propeller blade. Below deck, it's different. In this reconstruction, you see water burst through seams far below the waterline. It pours in fast. Mailbags float. Coal slides across the floor. 5 compartments begin flooding. 1 would have been fine. 2, manageable. 5 means the ship is already lost. Thomas Andrews, the ship's designer, moves quickly through the lower decks. He steps into icy water. He checks the damage. He does the math in his head. Then he looks up. You can see his face here. Calm, pale, certain. He tells the truth no one else wants to hear. The Titanic will sink in about an hour, maybe less. On the bridge, Captain Edward Smith is briefed. He listens. He asks questions. Then at 12:05 a.m., he gives the order. Uncover the lifeboats. Wake the passengers. Prepare to abandon ship. Down in the wireless room, the mood shifts. Distress calls go out. CQD. Then the newer signal, SOS. Nearby ships respond, but they are far away. One name matters most now, Carpathia. She turns around immediately. She is coming as fast as she can, but she is 4 hours away. Up on deck, most passengers still don't believe anything is wrong. The ship feels steady, the lights are on, music still plays. In this reconstruction, you see people standing in the cold, laughing, confused, staring at chunks of ice sliding past the windows. The Titanic is sinking, but almost no one on board truly understands it yet. So when the first lifeboats are uncovered, and the crew begins calling people up from below, the question is simple. If this ship is unsinkable, why leave it? At 12:45 a.m., the first lifeboat is lowered into the Atlantic. Boat number 7. It holds 65 people. Only 28 are inside. You can see it here in the reconstruction. Empty wooden seats. A wide gap of black water below. People hesitate. Some refuse to step in. They feel safer on the ship than in a small boat floating alone, in the dark. The rule is shouted across the deck. Women and children first. But no one explains what that really means. On the starboard side, Murdoch allows men to board if no women are nearby. On the port side, Officer Lightoller interprets the order strictly. No men, not even if seats are empty. Lifeboats leave half full, while hundreds remain behind. Below deck, confusion turns deadly. Third-class passengers are woken late. Some are told to stay where they are. Others follow signs that lead to locked gates or dead ends. In this reconstruction, you can see families moving through narrow hallways, carrying children hearing water somewhere ahead, but not knowing where to go. Language barriers make everything worse. By the time many reach the upper decks, boats are already gone. On deck, small human moments unfold inside the chaos. Isidore and Ida Strauss stand together near a lifeboat. He is offered a seat. He refuses. He will not leave while other men remain. Ida steps back as well. She says she has lived with her husband and she will die with him. They sit down together on deck chairs, wrapped in coats, waiting. Nearby, Margaret Molly Brown boards lifeboat 6. Once inside, she realizes how empty it is. She demands they turn back. The crew refuses. They fear being swamped by people in the water. You can see her standing, gripping the edge, arguing into the darkness as the ship grows smaller behind her. In the wireless room, the operators keep sending calls. SOS, CQD, over and over, the Carpathia answers. She is pushing her engines past safety limits, racing through ice fields. But time is slipping away. The ship's angle increases. Plates groan. Decks tilt. You can see chairs sliding slowly across the floor in this reconstruction. The band continues playing. Calm music. Familiar tunes. Not to be brave. To keep people calm. To keep panic away. Just a little longer. Flares shoot into the sky. White streaks bursting over the ocean. Some lifeboats watch them rise. Others row farther away, afraid of what will happen next. By 2:00 a.m., the bow is deep underwater. The stern lifts higher every minute. The lights are still on. The ship still feels alive. And for those still aboard, one terrifying question remains. If the Titanic is still standing, how much time is really left? At 2:18 a.m., the lights go out. In this reconstruction, the ship falls suddenly into darkness. No music, no electricity, just the sound of wind, water, and metal tearing itself apart. The bow is already gone, deep under the Atlantic. The stern rises higher, pulling people toward the sky. You can see hundreds clinging to railings, scrambling up the deck as the angle grows steeper. Some slip, some jump, some freeze in place, unable to move. Then it happens. The Titanic breaks in two between the third and fourth funnels. You see sparks flash as cables snap. Steam explodes upward as machinery tears loose. The forward section disappears almost instantly. The stern falls back, rights itself for a few seconds, and then begins its final rise. For a brief moment, the stern stands nearly vertical, 200 feet of steel pointing straight into the night sky. People slide down the deck toward the water below. Some still hold hands, some pray, some scream. Then the ship slips beneath the surface. The time is 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, 1912. The Titanic is gone. What's left is silence, then screaming. In this reconstruction, lifeboats drift among debris, chairs, doors, pieces of the ship floating everywhere. Hundreds of people are in the water. The temperature is -2 degrees Celsius, cold so intense it steals breath instantly. Most victims lose consciousness within minutes. The screams fade, one by one. In the lifeboats, survivors listen, helpless. Some want to row back, others are too afraid. They fear being overwhelmed. By the time one boat finally returns, it's too late. Almost everyone in the water is already gone. At 4:10 a.m., lights appear on the horizon. The Carpathia arrives. You can see it here, smoke pouring from her funnels, crew lining the rails. Lifeboats approach one by one. Survivors are pulled aboard, wrapped in blankets, shaking, silent. Only 706 people survive. More than 1,500 do not. As the sun rises, the ocean looks calm again, peaceful, almost ordinary. But floating in the water are reminders of what just happened. And across the world, headlines will soon spread a truth no one believed possible. The Titanic has sunk. When I think about the Titanic, I don't picture steel or engines. I picture choices, small ones, human ones. A ship that could slow down but didn't. Warnings that arrived but weren't urgent enough. Lifeboats that left with empty seats because fear spoke louder than hope. This reconstruction shows something important. The Titanic didn't fail all at once. It failed in pieces. In minutes, shaved off a schedule. In confidence that replaced caution. And in courage too. People who stayed behind so others could live. Musicians who kept playing. Operators who sent signals until the power died. More than 1,500 people lost their lives that night. Not because the ocean was cruel, but because humans believed they had mastered it. And when the ship vanished at 2:20 a.m., it didn't just sink into the Atlantic. It sank an idea. The idea that technology alone can save us. If this reconstruction made you feel like you were there, even for a moment, that matters. These weren't numbers. They were people with plans for Monday morning that never came. If you want to explore another moment like this, tell me which disaster or event we should reconstruct next. And if you want to keep walking through history together, make sure you're subscribed.